How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video we have some big news in MLB The Show 20. We have weekly roster updates confirmed. We're going to have a brand new event. We'll have the 6th inning boss attributes to go over. We're also going to talk about the big collection coming out and some news regarding that. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I'll hide the face cam really quickly and we'll cover all of this stuff in one video. So we're going to have weekly roster updates starting with this shortened season. We're also going to have a baseball is back event with no team restrictions. These are going to be 3-inning games on all-star difficulty, free entries. This is going to start tomorrow, I think at around 12 noon. They said tomorrow afternoon. It could take place at around 3 p.m. Pacific time as well. I'm not exactly sure, but we'll have to keep an update with that. We'll have to keep an update with the time and everything. But this event should be amazing. They did reveal some of the rewards that they're going to have for the cumulative rewards in this event. So let's talk a little bit about that. The first one we have is Justin Upton. This is a Silver Slugger card from the Diamondbacks. He has pretty good stats all around, a lower overall, but pretty good for the first cumulative reward. And we've seen 94 to 96 overall players in this event, if I'm not mistaken. So 94 Justin Upton, pretty solid, maybe a good bench bat, maybe a good budget player to use against lefties or to use in the event itself. Let's go ahead and talk about the next one, and Drought Simmons. This one kind of reminds me of Ozzie Smith with 99 fielding, 99 reaction, has a little bit higher power attributes, and he doesn't, of course, have the switch hitting ability, but he does have a good swing, a nice quick swing. It's a two-handed swing, and this card should play pretty well in the game. Gold Glove version, 94 overall. Pretty solid. Let's keep it going because there is a lot of stuff to cover. We have a set 37 headliner card, JD Martinez. We were able to predict this one correct once again. I think that's 5 in a row now for those last headliner cards. And this card reminds me of the finest card. It's pretty similar. I think he might have had a little bit more power against lefties in MLB The Show 18. But this card is great. I mean, 96 overall, which is kind of what I was thinking he would be. But increased fielding as well. 60 fielding with 62 reaction. I still wouldn't use him out there, but not a bad option for a power hitter, especially if you like JD Martinez or you're a Red Sox fan, something like that. This card might be the one you pick up. Anyway, we'll get into the 6th inning program. There's a lot of stuff to talk about this. We have the Showdown, of course, that will feature Greg Maddox most likely in that final showdown. We have the 6th inning 150 star reward that we can talk about, and that's what we'll get into now. We have a brand new legend, Dennis Martinez. We also have a Corey Seager, Rookie of the Year. The thing to keep in mind about Corey Seager is that they kind of changed his swing. He was really good in MLB The Show 16 and 17. He had a very short, compact swing, similar to Adalberto Mondesi, similar to Barry Larkin, and now he kind of has a little bit of a different swing. He's still very good, but it's not the same, and I think he would be a little better if he had his old swing. So that's just something to keep in mind there. We also have a breakout Monte Irvin card, which is something that's cool to see because I wasn't sure if he was actually in the game this year. I predicted him to be the Giants Stage 3 Affinity. I didn't even know if we had him or his rights in the game again this year. He was in last year's game, but that is definitely cool to see. We'll have a better one of him later on, most likely. The next thing I wanted to talk about is what I believe to be a player program linked up with the 6th inning, and this is going to give you 20 program stars once you unlock it through the moments and collect him. I think that's what they mentioned about this card, but the main thing they focused on was the fact that he does have outlier, the fact that he throws a 98-mile-an-hour sinker, which is amazing. I think that's great. I just would have liked to know, or maybe I missed it, if they mentioned that he's a player program. So that's what he's looking like to me. 90 overall card. And we'll have that 99 velocity. I think in previous years he might have had 5 pitches, maybe on his finest card, but 4 pitches. He doesn't really have anything that's slow. Even the slider is still pretty fast, but solid card from Blake Trinan here. Let's keep it going with some of the 6th inning Conquest. For me, just looking at this, my first impression is that there won't really be any turn-based missions other than maybe conquering the Phillies in 2 turns or 3 turns, something like that. But it looks like the strongholds are pretty spread out. There's only a few here. There's only 4 in total to take. You'll probably have to steal some fans. It's only looking like 5 or 6 games in total I'll be making a video talking about that Conquest as well as the 6th inning Showdown. But we can talk a little bit about the bosses now. We can talk about Greg Maddox, we can talk about Jimmy Rollins, and Stan Musial. These 3 cards are amazing, and honestly, I'll talk about which one I'm going to choose. I'm going to try and pick up all 3 of them. But this card right here, I mean, 99 overall, end-game pitcher. The thing about it is his sinker is a little bit slow. Of course, it's going to be. It's Greg Maddox. But I was hoping that he might be able to get it up to 93, 94 miles an hour. I'm not sure if that's the case. We'll take a look at his prestige card, and hopefully he can top out at that. But this card is amazing. 105 walks per 9, 97 control, so he's going to have almost maxed out control on all 5 of his pitches. 69 mile an hour or 70 mile an hour curveball. It's going to vary in speed a few times. You know, it'll be thrown in the 71, 72 range, maybe in the 69, 68 range. That's a great speed differential from a 92, 91 sinker. So the circle changeup is also effective. This card's going to be great. He'll have diamond defense. He'll also have the unbreakable quirk, which is something that I talked about when I broke down Bob Feller's player card, and that's going to be really effective. Jimmy Rollins is going to be one of the best shortstops, one of the best leadoff hitters you can get, and that's why it makes this decision pretty tough, because I already have my creative player, Pablo Sanchez, playing shortstop. He's a switch hitter. He has some good speed. He has the diamond defense. He's got more power, around the same contact, but a little bit lower in vision. If you don't have a creative player at shortstop, this might be the guy you're selecting. This card only has 77 power on his base, but that will change with the prestige. He'll definitely be a little bit better. So let's talk about the player that I'm going to choose. Stan Musial is looking like the pick for me. I need a good first baseman, even though, you know, I just chose Eric Thames. I have Jim Thome, prestige. I got a couple really good players. I need a guy with great contact, a guy that I like his swing. And I mean, Stan Musial is one of my favorite players. He's my grandpa's favorite player, and I got to pick this card up. I got to get him somehow. I can't wait to try this card out against lefties. 125, 121 splits, has that reverse splits, and that's only going to get better with the prestige version, of course. So let's talk about that. Let's break these cards down a little bit further with the prestige. Greg Maddox is 1 attribute away from maxed out stamina. He'll have 98 control, so 1 point away from maxed out as well. His velocity goes up by 5, but that's because the fastballs that he has go up by 1 mile per hour, and the off speed decrease by 1 mile per hour. So all 5 of those pitches are adjusted. Let's see if he does have the increased K per 9, the high 90s K per 90. He'll have the better defense as well, I think. I think his defense went up by 3. I'm not exactly sure in comparison, but this card's going to be unreal. I think the mile per hour differential between the curveball, the changeup, the sinker, the cutter, all those pitches are going to play off of each other pretty well. This next one, Jimmy Rollins, will have 80 power against both sides, 93 fielding, 96 speed with 99 steal, almost 100 contact against both. He's going to be great. I mean, I like the other one, the Jimmy Rollins that we have already, 91. When he was released, I picked him up. He had a couple home runs for me. This one has more power. He's going to meet that perfect threshold at 80. And he'll also have, you know, the bomber quirk that requires the 75 threshold that some people think really helps out. I don't really know as much, but I think that the 80 power threshold is what I'm looking for. That card's great. I just wish he played third base. That's probably my only downside to this Jimmy Rollins. The only thing I was hoping he would have that he doesn't. Stan Musial is almost maxed out against lefties, has better contact than most, you know, other first basemen in the game. He has better contact than almost everybody in the game, really, against both sides. 125 maxed out. He'll be one of the better hitters for a long time. I mean, until you get Lou Gehrig, until you get Babe Ruth, some of those better lefties, Ted Williams, Ty Cobb. This is the card that everybody, I think, is going to be looking to use. MVP Stan Musial. He'll have silver defense at first base in his secondary position. He'll even have silver defense in center field, but I wouldn't use him there because of the 50 speed, but definitely a solid card. We'll wrap this video up with a few more options here. We have Twitch drops for select content creators. We also have we also have a Discord option. Let me show this first. There's a Discord for MLB The Show. And this is something that you can kind of use to communicate, try and learn a little bit more about the game. This is something that I'm going to be curious in checking out. But of course, the Twitch drop packs from the select content creators, they should post a link or at least a schedule to who's going to have the Twitch drops and when. I don't think I'm going to be included in this, but I don't know. We'll see. So with that being said, they talked about the big information on the collections. It's not going to be Honus Wagner. They confirmed that. I'll go ahead and bring the face cam back, but we'll talk about what they said. They said that you're going to want this card in your lineup, which means that to me, it's a position player. I think that they would only say that if it's a position player. They would say rotation otherwise, but that's a good clue. I thought to begin with it would be a position player. I'm hoping for Reggie Stalker. I'm hoping for Alex Rodriguez. If it's not those guys, maybe it's a 5-tool player that I'm not thinking about right away. And I just want somebody amazing. I'd even take, MVP Bryce Harper, a maxed out MVP Bryce Harper. I'd take one of those for the big collection. They also talked about how they're going to make some adjustments from last year. So you might not need as many players. They talked about how some of the collections are going to change a little bit. The first thing that came to mind with me is the fact that the gold prospect cards from the Stage 1 Team Affinities are not included in the prospect collection, and they might be once this big collection is out. That's just the first thing that popped into my head, but also other collections and other tiers could change for that Legends and Flashbacks tab. But that's going to do it for this video. Thank you all for watching. I'm College Lefty, and I hope to see you a little bit later. I might try and go live on Twitch, play some ranked, but until next time, peace out.